Hi everyone, it is March 27th, 2013. Hope everyone is doing well. I wanted to go over a few things that I actually came across this weekend while I was at my family, just celebrating the Passover holidays. While I was over there, me and my brother-in-law were taking a trip somewhere, and the discussion of what was going on in Cyprus came up. And we spoke about a whole bunch of things, a whole bunch of topics, and he mentioned that how it was such a great idea to, always have cash on hand. And for those of you who know what's going on in Cyprus right now with the bank runs, the possible bank runs that are going on over there, I have to agree with that. I mean, it's always good to have cash on hand. But the thought came to my head, if that would come here, and I spoke about that with him, if that event would come to America, which some do believe it could happen. Some of you think that that's impossible, but that's everyone has their own opinion on that subject. But what I was thinking of is that is all well and good to always have cash on hand, but if there's going to be an economic collapse, I also think that it's a very wise decision to make sure you have enough perishable food, because nothing for nothing, people. If push comes to shove and the dollar completely collapses, you're not going to be able to eat ink and paper, you know. So I think it's always a good idea to not just have just cash on hand, whether it's a couple of $100 or a couple of $1,000, but I think that you should always all have food and water supplies on hand too. Another thing that came up this weekend was very interesting. As my sister's friend was helping prepare the meal, she was chopping up some vegetables. One of the vegetables she was chopping up was cauliflower. And I remembered hearing she was talking about how she went to the supermarket, and it was very hard for her to buy large heads of cauliflower. And she noticed that all the cauliflower heads were very small because of the drought. So, I always believe, people, that, God, in His infinite wisdom, gives you signs and gives you warning signs. And I do believe that was one of the warning signs. And that told me that the current drought that we're in is not getting any better. In fact, it might be getting worse. So, that's another thing I realized. She was talking to me about how the drought is affecting the vegetables and how it's hard to get good vegetables now. And if you can get good vegetables or any other product, the prices of those products are going up extremely high. So I noticed that. I also mentioned to my sister, talking about high food prices, I mentioned to her about current coffee prices. I buy those Keurig coffee K-Cups. Not sure if people are aware of it, but the prices used to be between 40 and 50 cents a piece, and I recently found out that the coffee prices went up 10 cents a cup. It may not seem like a lot to most people, and she agreed with me, and she also noticed it. So I just wanted to mention those two things, people. I know a lot of people are watching the events in Cyprus right now, and that's very good. And my advice to everyone is just keep an eye on the news, what's going on in Cyprus, and the whole economy in general. And everyone has their own ideas on how to prepare. Like I said, it's always good to have cash on hand, but like I said before, if push comes to shove and the worst does happen, or like we say, if the shit hits the fan, and the dollar collapses totally, you're not going to be able to eat the ink or the paper. So make sure you buy non-perishable food, canned food, beans, rice, stuff like that. So and water, of course, that goes without saying, just in case the worst does happen. It comes to the United States. Take it easy, people. Hope everyone has a good Easter and a happy Passover. Take it easy, everyone. Bye.